Ladies and gentlemen, yes, this is your favorite show, Sports Unfolded, with your favorite hosts, Eric and Ron.
Hey, sports fans. Welcome to the best sports podcast on the planet, Sports Unfolded, where we cover all of the top sports stories that happened this past week. Happy Valentine's Day to all the lovers out there. I hope you love sports because we do. So we're going to have some fun tonight. Looking forward to that as well. I am your host, Eric. My main man right over there, Ron. How are you tonight?
Oh, I'm feeling good. Feeling ready for this one. Eric, how come every week there's always so much info that we never have a boring show?
Sports, man. You gotta love it. That's what we love most about it. It's always got something going on that's gonna make it interesting for us to have something to talk about. So, yeah, that's us. All right. Well, if you are joining us live, please join the chat. Let us know if you have any opinions on the topic we are covering. Love to hear from you. Just join in. We'll be sure to mention it. As well as we want to thank our listeners out in Dallas, Georgia, WDJY 99.1 FM. We're on every Saturday there. And 990 WBOB in Rhode Island, Providence, Rhode Island. Thank you for the support. As well as SEC TV, Public Access Channel 12 on every Tuesday night at 10 p.m. So appreciate all of the support there. Oh, look at how
you want
fancy.
The hearts?
Ooh. Let's have some fun tonight. We're gonna talk about a lot of love. I like yeah. I don't know which one. I think the other one.
It's just softer, right?
Yeah, a little better. All right, Ron. So
we should have like something like piercing right through these hearts.
We are going to have some fun tonight. We're going to talk a lot about the Red Sox today. We've got some Red Sox news. So definitely going to talk about that. The Patriots, as well as the New York Jets. So again, if you have any opinions on any of those, and then this big Dallas Mavericks situation, we're going to have some conversation there. But we are going to start off with our leadoff story, Ron, and that is the Super Bowl. So Super Bowl 59 has concluded. The Philadelphia Eagles have defeated the Kansas City Chiefs in Super Bowl 59. How were they able to do it and be so successful?
Well, I mean, they literally beat Philadelphia at every aspect of the game. Every aspect. Like, I don't think there was anything missing from Philadelphia's game. And at the end, it was all cleanup, all the dirty scores, and that it didn't matter at that point. But I mean, there was a series where Patrick Mahomes was like sacked like 3 times in like 2 possessions, and it was just everything. There was no timing with Kansas City. Their offense just sputtered the entire game. And Philadelphia just had their way on defense. And then on the offensive side of the ball, it was the trenches pretty much on both sides, right? Offensive and defensive line were spectacular. Probably some of the best play I've seen in the Super Bowl.
At the end of the day, I really didn't expect 0 blitzes sent by the Philadelphia Eagles, and the amount of pressure they were able to get on Patrick Mahomes. What a great game plan there to kind of disrupt Mahomes. Did not look like the quarterback we've seen in the past.
He couldn't do anything.
Which was pretty amazing. And if I was to tell you, Ron, that the Chiefs were going to hold Barkley to an average game, you would have thought, like, there's no way.
So how many yards did he end up with?
The Philadelphia Eagles win. I think it was about 70.
Yeah, because I said he would get about 80, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I did okay for you know, my predicting on how it would go, I didn't think it would be that lopsided, though.
Yeah, it was. Listen, at the end of the day, it was what 34-0 before the Chiefs even scored, and it was just like, what are we watching? At some point, you wanted you expected some kind of comeback. They went into halftime. You're like, all right, they'll come out, they'll do something, and you didn't even see that. Yeah, Jalen Hurts led that team in rushing with 72 yards.
Yeah, he was
So
fantastic. What a game he played. And it was just everybody. You look across the field on both sides of the ball, and everybody did their
yeah,
jobs. Brown did his job. I mean, he got his touchdown, and when that defense came out, oh my God, it was absolutely amazing. Everybody got their time in, part of that win. Every single player was a participant.
yeah. So when you look at it, Barkley 25 carries, 57 yards.
And he
Like
just did what he needed to do. Keep Kansas City honest on that line, right? They had to, soon as they would start favoring the receivers, Barkley would break like 9 yards here and there. He never broke one, but when he picks up 9 yards on a play, it makes them go back to that put 8 men in a box kind of thing, And he kept them
Yeah,
on their toes the whole game. As soon as they didn't do that, he made a good run. And that was enough. That was enough. And that's all you needed from him. And how happy was he at the end of the game?
Oh yeah, look, even defended Taylor Swift. I don't know if you heard that one, but it got interesting where he was criticizing some of the fans for booing her. I was quite surprised with that
stupid.
one.
That was stupid. And there's really, I mean, why do you boo her? Why?
I don't get it. Didn't make sense to me, but
I mean, obviously it was the Philadelphia Eagles fans, but
yeah, it was just silly.
It was.
Doesn't make sense. Halftime show.
It was the worst ever,
So.
Eric. Worst ever.
Yeah, I was a little disappointed. Actually, the highest viewed halftime show ever now.
Yeah, because there's more people. It's going to be the most viewed every year.
Yeah, but so it was interesting. I don't know.
I hated it.
What do you think about who's more likely to come back?
Philadelphia. Because I think free agency is gonna hurt Kansas City bad. Like, Philadelphia has some free agents, of course. But if Kansas City loses players and they don't gain players at the end of the year, they're going to be in trouble.
But I would say that, 7 straight years in the AFC Championship.
Yeah.
They're still the kings of the AFC.
Yeah.
Until you knock them off. And I know Mahomes had a bad game, and most people are like writing them off. But I thought more or less. I see smells.
Elsie?
Oh, Casey. Casey, he meant to buy. Casey smells.
I'm like, what the heck is that?
But I will say this. Listen, Andy Reid just didn't seem to adjust in this game, which really surprised me.
Yeah, it surprised me too.
It didn't seem like Didn't seem. I still wouldn't put Nick Sirianni over Andy Reid as a coach.
No.
Even with this performance, and that's what I'm saying. I think Kansas City, to me, has a better shot because Philadelphia, if everybody remembers, during the regular season, this team was on the verge of like breaking up. They were 2-2. Sirianni was on edge. He's yelling at fans in the stands and getting in arguments with people.
Well, he had an argument
Hurts
with Brown in that game. They had a yelling match at one point, and then the very next possession, that's when Brown scored his touchdown.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that tells you, but he wasn't a focal point until then.
Yeah, I think, listen, they've done a very good job of drafting and the talent they've acquired. So Philly looks like they're a mainstay, but I think people are sleeping on the fact that the Chiefs have been there for so many years. And every year it was the same thing with New England, where you lose talent, you lose guys, and you're like, this is it.
Yeah,
And
but if
somehow,
you
as long
lose
as you have,
Kelsey, if he retires,
if he
that's a
does,
big loss, let me tell you, even though he had a couple of drops in that game.
yeah, he didn't look great. He didn't look great in that game. Obviously, their offensive line needs an overhaul. I think that's going to be something they really
They had
focus
a
on in the
pretty decent
offseason.
line. It's just it wasn't it wasn't a good match for Philly.
Brady's investigating. That the case?
That is not a real that is not a real post, Hugo. Anytime you see a post and it says click the link in the comments, it's not real. It's not a real thing.
Yeah, I don't think they would have thrown that game. Too much invested in it.
Yeah.
Too much invested in it. But all right, let's continue with this NFL talk, because there's a lot going on in the NFL, even though it's the offseason, which is pretty typical of the NFL. So the New York Jets have decided to part ways with Aaron Rodgers. Do you think there's going to be another team interested in him at the quarterback spot?
Yeah, I think so. There's always going to be somebody that needs a quarterback and will kick the tires, right? So, there's a lot of talk that the LA Rams could be that team.
I heard about that. There's Stafford possibly to the Giants, and that would open up the door for Aaron Rodgers.
I mean,
but
I don't know
I guess
how
the sticking point
is,
with the Jets, and I don't know if you had heard that he can't do the Pat McAfee show anymore, and he refused to give that up.
That's just dumb.
So I don't know if a lot of teams are going to be willing. Listen to what he did to this organization. First of all, he strangleholded them. Get my offensive guys in, right? Lazard.
Yep.
They ended up getting what's his name? Devontae Adams.
Yeah.
Right. The offensive coordinator. Like he did a lot of things to make this team fall apart. He's not committed, right? In the offseason, he ends up going on a trip or locking himself in a cave or whatever he does. At 41, even if you say a bridge quarterback with baggage may not be a lot of teams. So there's going to be 5 teams I'm going to give you, Ron.
Carolina.
And I'm going to tell you the interest level or if it makes sense. First off, went 5-12 this season, 63% completion percentage, 3,897 yards passing, 6.7 yards per attempt, 28 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. So not horrible. So you could still say he's got something in the tank. But again, you're bringing this guy in. He's got to be a mentor to the quarterback that you're going to grab. Right? Which we know he doesn't like to do. He didn't do it with Jordan Love. That's why he ended up in New York. Right? He was, I'm not helping this kid. So these are the teams that have been rumored. And I guess from 1 to 5, Ron, the odds you think he goes there. All right. First one, Pittsburgh.
No chance. 0%.
0. So no Russell Wilson. Probably getting rid of Justin Fields as well. Still a playoff contending team. They made the postseason.
It's not going to happen.
No. Okay. Las Vegas.
That could happen. I would say a 75% chance.
1 to 5. Okay. 1 being the least.
All right. So
most,
a 4.
okay,
we'll go 80%.
We'll go 4. 4. Okay. He's a 4. 0 on Pittsburgh. 4 on Las Vegas. This team surprised me, but I could see it happening just because he wants to do the Favre move. Minnesota.
No. 0% chance. There's no way. There's no way.
Are you going to sign Darnold to a big contract?
If I'm Minnesota, I would try to sign him to a contract.
New York Giants.
I would say that is a high probability. I would say at least a 4. I would actually say 4.5.
You already mentioned it. I don't have them written down, but what's the Rams?
I say that's a 3. I'd say it's a 3. I think it's a 50-50 kind of thing.
The fact Stafford may retire. That's a different story. But they were also talking Stafford to the Giants, which really, I don't know. Why would he want to go
Yeah,
there?
I think if he gets traded to the Giants, I think Stafford retires.
And the last one, Ron. Cleveland.
I don't hate it. I think the franchise deserves him, to be honest with you. So I'll say a 3 on that one. On the
Right?
low
Think
end
about
of
it.
a
Deshaun
3.
Watson, who knows that? Again, I think he re-injured his Achilles. He's probably out again. Whatever. So, all right. And the last one, Ron, does he retire?
He might be forced to.
Right? I think that's what's going to end up happening. He's going to realize like there's not going to be many teams
Well,
interested.
I just look at it this way. He's going to want to go to a winning team, right? But what winning teams really need a quarterback? And that's the
Can I
problem with
ask you
this.
this?
He's going to have to settle for a crap team, and he's not going to have his guys there because they are not going to do it.
So I'm going to ask you this question, Ron. I forget how many years he's played, 15, 16, whatever years. He's won one Super Bowl.
Yeah.
How much
That
value
was
does he
early.
really bring to a franchise? But yeah, and what value do you bring to a franchise then? You're looking at he couldn't get the Jets to the postseason. Green Bay was every year he was there was like one and done. So even if you, to your point, there's a contender, there's
Yeah.
a team out there, again, Pittsburgh, who makes the postseason every year.
Yeah.
He's not getting you to the Super Bowl, and that's what Pittsburgh's trying to do.
Yeah.
He can't get to the Super Bowl. So I don't know how much interest this would have to be. It's almost like the Tom Brady thing when he retired, and people like, oh, Tom's sitting at home, and then there was an injury, and then his name came up again. Like, oh, Tom Brady. Maybe we'll try to get Tom Brady to come out of retirement. I could see that with Aaron Rodgers. Like one of these
I
top
could still
teams
see it with Tom
has an injury.
Unbelievably.
Yeah, I don't. Not. I don't. Yeah.
You never know.
But yeah, I don't know as an owner if he can actually play. I don't know how that works.
Well, maybe he can play for Las Vegas.
But think about it. Philadelphia, Hurts gets hurt. You see how I did that. Aaron Rodgers steps in, right? Because it's a Super Bowl team. I could see that. Or Detroit with Jared Goff. Maybe then, hey, Aaron, I know you're sitting at home. Would you want to come play with the Detroit Lions? Other than that, I can't. I don't know. Like Cleveland, great story to say, hey, he went to Cleveland, but are they winning? Do you feel any better? They're going to lose their best defensive player. Aaron Rodgers make you better? Aaron Rodgers puts you over the top?
That would be the desperation move by Cleveland to sign Aaron Rodgers and say, hey, look, we got a chance to win now, when you really don't. You don't have a chance to win.
All right.
Because Aaron Rodgers is not going to beat Mahomes.
Out there, let us know.
He is not going to beat Allen. He is not going to beat Jackson. And I'm sorry, those 3 quarterbacks are at the top of the list right now. And then you throw in the young quarterbacks, like 1 to 3, 4 years, and they're pretty good, right? I mean, you've got Stroud, you've got Bo Nix, who's apparently knows how to play. You got, between Chicago, you got all these teams.
Herbert,
There's a lot of quarterbacks that I would put ahead of Aaron Rodgers at this point in his career. And what I saw in New York is glaring to me that he can't get it done because that New York team is a good team. It's a good
They
team.
were.
Lots of
They had
talent.
talent. Yeah, absolutely. All right, Ron, one more story in the NFL before we move on. Deebo Samuel has been allowed to seek a trade from San Francisco. The Patriots are rumored to be interested in this move. Should they consider it?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, you got to keep them. You got to keep them healthy. But
First problem.
yeah, depending on what you're going to be sending over there, do you take a chance and give up one pick? I would give up one pick, but
It'd probably be a second or third, maybe a third.
because I'm
Honestly,
looking
at
at the
this point.
free agent list, you don't have to give anything up for those guys.
So here's my problem with this. As crazy as it sounds, me being a Patriot fan, I was like, oh, I should be all over this. Deebo Samuel's, right? You hear the name. I don't think he's a true number one. I wouldn't want them to grab Deebo Samuels and that's their wide receiver.
Yeah.
You get me T. Higgins, and I'm just throwing the name out there.
I like
and you put
better.
and you trade for Samuel, and now Samuel's your number two.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Right? If Deebo Samuel's your answer to try to fix the wide receivers, I don't want New England to do it. Like, if they're not going to do something else to get a true number one wide receiver, do not do this move,
you have
because
Amari Cooper
he is not going to be effective.
There, you know, which I'm guessing Amari Cooper is going to want to stay in Buffalo. I'm guessing that, you know, and he should stay there. But T. Higgins is the interesting one. You always want to like hurt your division though. So if you make a run at Amari Cooper, it hurts Buffalo and it only helps you. So, I mean, that's the guy I would probably want to go after.
You know, a guy too that I saw today
Jacoby
when I was looking at some of this. No, please. Stephon Diggs, who may be cheap because of the injury.
Yeah.
Right? You get him. He's still a true number one. Now you make this trade with Deebo. Now you got some weapons.
Yeah.
Right? And now it changes, I think, the complexity of this move. Listen, Deebo Samuel's last year, 51 catches, 671 yards, a 13.1 yards per reception, 3 touchdowns. Only rushed 42 times for 136 yards and a touchdown. They even got away from that. I think that was more him than them. On New England, he would still finish second overall in receptions. Hunter Henry and Pop Douglas had 66.
Really?
He would have been tied for touch.
What was it all in the last game?
I don't know. And believe it or not, he would have tied for touchdowns with 3.
That's hideous.
And he'd be second in yards, right behind Hunter Henry. I think had 690
That's
something.
Terrible.
So this team, I mean, yes, it's an upgrade, but I don't think he's not a Justin Jefferson type receiver that's going to change the complexity of your passing.
I want a game changer. That's what I want. And then if you fill it up with the rest of the scrubs that you have, so be it. As long as you have that one guy, he's going to make somebody better. You know, I just say go out, so you don't have to give anything up. Go out and get one of those free agent receivers. And if you want another guy, you can fill it in with the draft. I don't trade for him. Now, the more I think about it, I don't trade for him.
Yeah, right. I just don't think it's a good move.
No,
I really don't.
Because you can get somebody better free agent, and it's going to cost you the same amount of money, and you're going to be better off. A guy that can just catch the ball. Why are they not looking for another Edelman or Wes Welker type?
Cooper Kupp to me would have been a great.
Cooper Kupp would be nice,
right? Because he's more that kind of receiver, and especially in a Josh McDaniels type offense. He hasn't yet. So again, maybe
I would trade for Kupp. I would trade for Kupp.
All right. That was our NFL talk. Again, if you have an opinion, let us know. Join the chat. Again, we'd love to hear from you. We are going to move on, though, Ron, to our starting 5.
That's Bobby waving to
I
me,
already know
Eric.
Yeah. Yeah, I already know I hacked this up because I missed some names right off the bat. But I will say this: our theme tonight for our starting five had to have something to do with Valentine's Day. It is a day of love and happiness, and so a lot going on out there. Hopefully, you're having a great time watching us as well with your
I
loved
got
one.
a question, Eric.
Um,
Is this going by the best talented player, or is it going by the name? Because I have both lists.
If we did the name, I'd probably be a little better off.
Okay.
Let's do it by name.
All right.
All right. All right. So, Ron, you are first this
I'm
week.
first.
Yes. I would love to hear your honorable mentions.
All right. So my honorable mentions by name only. This is name only.
All right.
I got Ron Darling.
Ooh, a good one. I did not have. Okay.
I have Mark Loving.
Okay.
I have Brandon Flowers.
Ooh, okay. It's a good one.
I have Hartley Anderson, and it is spelled correctly, Hartley.
Okay.
And my
Very
last one is this guy in my honorable mention, Bobby Valentine. Always a character. Loved him as
Gotta
a
have a
manager
Valentine, right?
everywhere because
Yeah.
he's just
Not a very good baseball career as a player.
no baseball
We'll
player.
go
He was
manager.
terrible.
All right. I got two honorable mentions. I told you I hacked this one. But I had Happy Hairston. He was an NBA player, won one championship, actually averaged like
How
a
is that?
double.
That,
Happy. You're
Oh.
happy. It's Happy Valentine's.
well, for
Happy.
that matter, put
You
in
gotta be
Happy Gilmore.
Gilmore. And then Kevin Love. Kevin Love is an
Honorable
honorable
mention?
mention for me. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, Kevin Love. Kevin Love.
I'm surprised
All
you
right,
didn't
my
go
friend.
Lovey Smith.
Lovey Smith would have been a good one too. But again, that's coaches. I was thinking players.
Yeah, well, you know.
All right. So at 5, Ron, in your starting 5, who's your number 5?
At 5, I have Babe Ruth.
No, the Babe.
Let me tell you, there's
I
a
see what
lot
you
of
did there.
Babes. Let me tell you. It's like everybody was named Babe back then. I don't know why or how, but everybody.
Probably because Babe Ruth, and then you know how people do that, and then they carry on the name.
Sure.
Babe Ruth, good one. All right, at 5 for me, Bob Love. Bob Love, NBA player,
See, I don't have any
three-
duplicates.
three-time All-Star, 2-time All-NBA, 3-time
Yeah,
All-Defensive.
but
Bob
it's not,
Love.
stats
at
don't
number
count.
5.
It's just a name.
I know, but I like that. Bob Love.
Yeah. Number 4.
At 4, Ron.
I have Pete Rose.
Yeah.
Pete Rose,
Didn't
number
have
4.
Rose.
He's the best Rose of all the Roses.
He is. He is. I
And
believe
Babe
that
Ruth was the best
At-
babe of all the babes.
At 4 for me, girl's best friend, especially on Valentine's Day, Diamond DeShields.
I was thinking of
the
that one.
WNBA. How do you not, right? You got to have a diamond.
Yeah.
You want your diamonds. We got a
Yeah,
Diamond
I didn't
DeShield
want any
at
part
number
of that
4.
diamond, though.
And what's that? Delino DeShield's daughter.
Yeah.
So the baseball
Yeah.
player. So that was kind of Diamond DeShields.
That's a good one. It's a good one. All right, number 3, I have
At
Kevin
3.
Love. The best love of all the loves.
So all the loves. Yeah, you're full of love. You're
Always
a loving
filled
guy.
with love, Eric. It's all about
I
love.
see that. I see that. All right. Today is a holiday for some. So I had to go with Drew Holiday at number 3 for me. Drew Holiday.
Oh, God. Boy, you really make
Drew,
this
it's a
awful.
holiday. It's a holiday.
I'm just ashamed of your list right now.
At number 2 is who?
At number 2, I have Kevin Garnett, because what woman doesn't want jewelry for her birthday? I mean, for her Valentine's gift. Kevin Garnett.
Okay. At 2 for me, the best color on Valentine's Day is red. Red Ruffing. 6-time champion.
You know it's bad when you have to explain why you have them
Six-time
there.
All-Star, a 273 wins as a pitcher. Red roughing.
Yeah, I got the best number one of all time right here.
What is it?
Cupid Childs.
That's got to be a nickname.
It's not. It's his name, Cupid Childs. There is actually two people, Cupids, but he was the better of the two.
What do you play?
Let me see what his stats are first. He was a baseball player, had 20 career home runs, 1,700 hits, batted .306, 1,200 runs, 700 plus RBI, and 269 stolen bases. He's not a bad player.
No, not at all. I went with the color red again. Red Kelly, number one. 8 times a cup winner. 8 times.
Yeah,
buddy.
but it doesn't matter.
Red. It's the color of love.
So just for the record, Eric, what I would have had if it was going by stats, Jalen Rose, Babe Adams, Lovie Smith, Brandon Flowers, and Davis Love III would have been my honorable mentions.
That's a good one.
And then number 5 would have been Derrick Rose. Number 4 would have been Kevin Love. Number 3 would have been Kevin Garnett. 2 Pete Rose, 1 Babe Ruth. That would have been it if it was stats.
Very good. Not bad, buddy. Not bad. Hated this one.
I like it.
I love love. I love love. I love Valentine's. I just didn't like this. All right, Ron.
No, that was fun. That was good. Sometimes it's just fun. It took me a while to do that, by the way.
Yeah. Let's have some NBA talk here. In this Anthony Davis
so
situation.
Quiet today?
Yeah, I know nobody's out. They're probably all having fun. They're doing.
It's Valentine's Day. Everybody's with their loved one.
Everybody's getting their freak on right now, bro.
I forgot about that.
And I really don't think they want us in the background.
They should. We should be like the new Johnny Carson.
I don't. I first of all, why do you put that picture up? Because it's Valentine's Day.
What, Bobby Valentine?
It looks like he looks like he's loving himself.
Oh, yeah, this one.
Anthony Davis. Anthony Davis over here loving himself.
Well, isn't that the song Justin Bieber sang for him?
Let's talk about this injury. So he looks like he could be out at least a month. Do you think the team's even Alexis went in on this? I don't know what's going on tonight. This show's going off the rails quick. Do you think the team is regretting this trade?
This is a tough one because it's got to be in the back of their minds at least. At minimum in the back of their minds. Okay? First of all, yes, how did they not get a bunch more draft picks for him? But, I mean, in game 1, and I feel like I'm responsible, Eric.
You are.
Because during the NBA show, I did mention if he gets hurt. And here he is, boom. Because I said that, well, he's having his best year because he's been healthy. And then that was the kiss of death when I said because he's been healthy. And then, boom, all of a sudden, he's now out for a month. I mean, he was having a great season. I just feel for the Dallas Mavericks because now trying to explain to their fans why they got him, and you can't now because he's out.
Yeah, like this is the worst possible scenario right now for that franchise because if you think about how the fans reacted to it, and then game 1, he gets hurt. And now you're not talking about, he's out for a week. He's out for a month.
It's kind of like that
I looked at this
thing, right?
He's missed over 120 games in the last 4 seasons.
Yeah.
Like, this isn't a guy that you sit back and go, it's a fluke. Like, this is a common thing. And unfortunately for the Mavs, all 4 of their big men are out too. So, like, they've lost any size they had. Kyrie is going to have to be the main guy to keep them in right. Will this team?
And he can be. He can be. He's a great player. So, I mean, hopefully he can, just say, you know what, I got us, I got the team,
Yeah, put him on on his
and
back and just ride with it.
I'll tell you
I'm
another
just
thing.
afraid that
Kyrie, who has been boiling my water for several years, since he's been in Dallas, I love him. He's not
much better, right?
he's just down to earth and just doing his job. And I love that. I love how he's handled being in Dallas, and I just hope it stays that way, because this is going to be a tough stretch.
If you look at it too, like Luka's injury prone as well.
Yeah,
So
I'm not
I mean, at
sold
some
that
point
he's going to be
probably,
there long.
you know what I mean? Like that, he's due for another injury. I don't know. I just listen. If he's healthy, he's a talent.
It's like the question
He's
I
still
put
at
at the
even
bottom
at,
here: who's the most fragile
yeah, who's the
player?
most fragile? Yeah,
I mean, there's a lot of them. I mean, they're not the only two.
he probably headlines it though, Davis.
Well, because of the timing,
I would
right?
think so. Especially now, like that is, like I said, the worst possible scenario could have been in game one. Like if he played for a week and he looked good in 3 or 4 games, and you're like, all right, at least the fans would start to say, hey, we got something. You don't even know what you have. He played 31 minutes. He was done. He's like, all right, now we got to sit and wait again.
I gotta say, it could be something in conditioning. I don't know what it is.
You know, you're a movie guy. You know, when you see those previews like months earlier and you're like, this movie's going to be awesome. Like, I can't wait. And then you're like, I got to wait how long to see this? That's what the Dallas Mavericks fans got to be feeling, right? Like, wow, he looked pretty good. I got to wait how long now to see him play again? Like, wait a minute. There's something wrong here.
Play one game, miss, 15.
Miss 15, come back, play a handful, maybe be out again. I don't know.
Look, it'll all be better if they run through, if they can make it to the playoffs first. If they can run through the playoffs again, I mean, if he's in there and all their big men are in there, that's a scary team.
Yeah.
But he's got to be in there.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. We
got a ton of people watching.
All right.
Come on, put some comments out there.
Let's talk some Major League Baseball, Ron, because I know how excited you were.
Let's pump the brakes on that one.
Boston Red Sox have signed Alex Bregman. Your thoughts?
I like the move for a few reasons, but then what I hesitate because, it still could be a problem, with the rest of the positioning.
Yeah, their roster.
So first of all, what I like is that it's a right-handed bat that can hit for power in that lineup, and that is going to ultimately make them better. I don't think they can be worse unless he's like a Trevor Story.
Well, he's not an injury-prone guy. I'll give him that.
No, I know that, but it is the Red Sox. Seems like whenever they get somebody, they get hurt.
So 3 years, $120 million, Ron. But there's
$40 million a year.
Yeah, it's like an opt-out, and he's only like hitting the cap 30-something million because there's deferred money, blah, blah, blah. But I looked at it this way, Ron. His best season was 2019.
Yes.
He batted 296. Since then, he hasn't batted over 270.
Yeah.
And his second lowest batting average was last season.
Yep.
Then where do you play him? Because Rafael Devers is your third baseman.
Yes.
They're talking about moving him to second. I don't get that move because he's, I guess, played short in college or played a little shortstop. Yeah. Have they not tried this experiment before and it went horribly wrong for the Red Sox?
Yes, and that's why I said pump the brakes.
So then, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. Go ahead.
Matsutaka Yoshida is your designated hitter right now, making like $20 million a year.
Yes.
You have to be able to get rid of him, move Devers to DH, and put Bregman at third for this move to work. I don't think it happens. I don't think there's going to be takers for Yoshida.
All right. So there is a lot of problems with this signing, and then there's a lot of solutions, right? So, first of all, if you're going to have him at second base, that puts Rafaela into center field, which to me, it doesn't make sense to move Duran from center field because I think he's your best center fielder, and I would rather put Rafaela in left field. Now, with that being said, I don't know if he's going to play the entire year at second base because they have a kid down in the minors that they're saying is going to be up there probably by All-Star break, because it's always in their contracts where like the All-Star break.
Yeah, they get the extra year.
Right.
Yeah.
So that could happen. Now, when that happens, if it happens, then they would have to move Bregman to third base. Now, it is always possible that Trevor Story gets hurt in game one and he moves to shortstop instead of second base. So that's always a possibility.
You got to put Story in that most fragile player. We should just do a most fragile player.
Yeah, I know. So that is always a possibility because of his injury proneness. But if that's not the case and Story somehow makes it through a whole year without getting, out for, 3-4 months at a time, then he could move to third base. Then you put Devers as the DH, and you have to trade Yoshida because you can't keep him on the bench. He's too much money. You got to trade him, and you're going to eat a lot of that salary when you do trade him. Now, he was injured last year as well, so he had a lot of nagging things happening, and the hope is that he's better this year and plays to his full potential. Now, if that happens, then you don't really have a problem moving people around then, do you? Then you put Bregman at second, who I believe played second base partially in college, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, we've all tried.
But he is a good defense. He's a Gold Glover, so he could possibly pull it off. And I don't know, when you look at him, I think it could. I think it could work. It could work, but it could also be a cluster.
Well, batted 260 last season, 79 runs, 75 RBIs, 26 home runs. You missed the power there, 26 home runs. I don't know. I think this was a signing that needed to happen to get Red Sox fans to ease up a little bit on the organization.
Oh, yeah.
But I don't think this makes them better. There's still no true closer. There's still questions.
I didn't say it made them better.
A couple of positions down. Who do you move?
I mean, it does make them better. Let's be honest. I mean, they put a right-handed bat in there, and it does make you better.
But let me ask you this, Ron. Why would the Astros be so willing to give him up?
Because they can't sign him.
They made him an offer. I'm sure it wasn't as much as Boston, but they did make him an offer. I just don't think that they wanted to keep him. There was a reason behind that. Listen, he's two-time All-Star. He's won a Gold Glove, a Silver Slugger, and obviously he's a two-time champion. So you bring a guy into the clubhouse that knows how to win.
Yeah, I think there's a lot more benefits than negatives, Eric. You needed that right-handed bat, and you just make it work, right? You just have to make it work. And, I don't like the fact they have Wilyer Abreu in the outfield. I mean, I like Rafaela as a player, but I mean, is he a better outfielder? I don't know. I have no idea. And there's still something wrong. I mean, and I'm just negative towards Trevor Story because that's going to be a hole. It's going to be a hole no matter what. Even if he's in there, I don't think he's going to be as good.
What kind of Danny finally on? What kind of hole?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Look, I don't even like Wong is their starting catcher. Kind of Wong.
What's wrong with that?
Really?
What's wrong with that, Ron? No. Sometimes two wrongs don't make a right. I'm just saying. It's just one of these things I could do. We can keep going.
Can we get another Wong?
Oh, I told you. Oh, my goodness. Bregman to the Sox. Let's see. All right, Ron.
I mean, still, like, there's so many
Let's
question
have
marks
some
on this
fun with
team.
split-
It's like, how is it? Like, yeah, they'll be better, but how much better? Are they going to make a playoff run? Are they better than some of those teams that were in the playoffs last year?
What? Six-man rotation. I think they're just trying things. They're experimenting with a lot of different.
What they don't want
They're
are
gonna see
big
what sticks.
contracts. And that's going to be a problem when Devers becomes a free agent.
Well, he's locked in for 10 years, isn't he? So
Yeah,
he's
I
got
don't
like
know.
another 8 years before that would be.
Everybody
he's
leaves
locked in.
after their contract is up. That's what it comes down to because they're not
Yeah,
going to sign them.
yeah, but he's going to be 35, 40
Now,
by that point.
I do like
Got
the
plenty of time.
fact that they have a good minor league system right now. They did build that up. I mean, that's good. Like, I really, truly believe that, you know, Oakland's way of doing things is not entirely wrong. When they become a free agent, you trade them for pieces
What, move to Las
and you
Vegas?
just bring the next people up, right? I'm just saying. I mean, it works on video games. You trade the stars,
Yeah,
and you get a whole bunch of
You
talent
do.
in,
yes.
and then you just bring them up
Yes.
through the minor system.
Works every year in the show. Every year. All right, Ron, let's have some fun with split decisions.
It's time for split decisions.
All right, our split decision segment. Basically, we ask each other two more likely questions. Then we got to make a decision. You are first
Oh.
this week, Ron. So your first split
I thought
decision.
it was your turn this week. Why?
No, your odds. I'm evens.
Oh, you're odd.
No, I am.
I don't know where it is, to be honest with you. All right. Which one do I want to do first?
Richie? Richie? Hi, Ronnie. It's from Somerset, your old bud. Your old buddy
Oh my
joining.
God, Ricky DiGatano. What's up, man? I'm surprised that you're here. That's pretty neat. But welcome to the show. It's been a long time. That's high school.
Wow.
Yeah, they were still high schools back then.
You used to take the carriage and
Yeah, horse and carriage.
horse and buggy,
Yep.
yeah. Okay. All right.
All right, so my
A lot of
first
those
split
players were
decision.
named. Hey, hold on. Though. A lot of those players were named Babe.
Yeah, they were all named Babe.
George Costanza is funny. Yeah, boy, Danny loves you.
Yeah, I'm sure he does.
All right. Your first split decision.
All right. Well, we did already talk about basketball. I mean, not basketball, football. So I will do this one first. Who is more likely to go number one in the 2025 NFL draft? Cam Ward or Mr. Primetime Jr.?
Cam Ward's moving up the board. Yeah, I'm on a delay. I know. Cam Ward, I would think, is starting to rise a little more. So I think it'd be Cam Ward. I think Deion's going to scare away some people.
You think?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, because he's already said he won't let his son go to certain teams.
Yeah, so I think it's already going to be we got to deal with this guy. All right, my first split decision.
I say let the Raiders draft him.
The Raiders. All right. Ron, which player is more likely to play for the Kansas City Chiefs next season? Travis Kelce or Tyreek Hill? So a lot of talk about Tyreek wanting out of Miami and possibly Kelce retiring. Which player is more likely to be playing for the Kansas City Chiefs next season?
That's a good one. I'm going to say Tyreek Hill.
Right? Isn't it? Like you think? I think they might bring him back.
I think they will bring him back, and I'm really confident that Travis Kelce, I think, might retire.
Yeah, I think he is. I mean, he's got probably a swift exit too.
Yeah, I got a feeling it's going to happen within a couple of weeks. Tyreek.
Nothing on that one.
He's not going to Dallas.
You nothing on that one. A swift exit.
Oh, come on. Oh, God, dude.
Come on. That was a good one.
Oh, that was
Swift
terrible.
Your second. That was great. Your second. That was tailor-made.
Oh, my God. Please stop. Please stop.
Yes.
Stop.
Yes. We are on fire tonight. Ron,
you're the only one on fire tonight, right now, and you should burn to a crisp. A Cocoa Crisp. All right. Which 9th or 10th seed is more likely to win the conference in the NBA playoffs? Just the conference, not the championship, just the conference.
Okay.
Miami Heat, Chicago Bulls, Sacramento Kings, or the Golden State Warriors?
I'm going Warriors. And I'm going to tell you, I think the West is weaker than the East. I think the two teams on the top of the East, the Boston and Cleveland, nobody's getting past them. So to win the conference, you got to beat those two. I would say that OKC still has something to prove, so there's a shot. It's all right, Danny. I'm sure Luke will get his minutes. I wouldn't worry.
I can't. I watched that video short of LeBron lazy in his own end when he even refused to try to get a rebound when he's like twice the size of the player that got the rebound. And Austin Reeves was just like, really? What are you doing?
Gotta love it. Gotta love it.
Called out by Austin Reeves. Love it. Love it.
Yeah. I forgot your question. What was your question again? I did answer it. Did I not?
Oh,
yeah. I said, Golden State. Golden State. Yeah. Because I think the West is weak.
You think the West is weak?
All right, Ron.
Okay.
Weaker than the East. You're taking a team over Boston or Cleveland.
Great show. Me and my son, the sports broadcaster, to be our big fans. Oh, broadcaster to be? Oh, that's pretty good. Thank you, Ricky.
Hey, we're always willing. Thank you. Thank you for the support, Ricky.
Tell him to send us a tape. Maybe he can come on, be a guest.
All right. My second split decision. Golden State. Danny agrees. Which team, Ron, is more likely to win the AL East? The New York Yankees, the Boston Red Sox, or the rest of the field?
The rest of the field? Tampa Bay, Toronto?
Toronto or Baltimore?
Who did the Yankees just sign?
Fried. They got Fried. They got the dude from Williams, Devin Williams. Is Devin Williams? The closer from Milwaukee.
Oh man, that's a tough one. Because now they have a good 1-2 punch. I'm gonna say the Yankees.
Goldschmidt. Yeah, that was your pick. You remember? You called Goldschmidt. They got Goldschmidt too.
I said they should.
All right.
He's a good player.
Yeah, because Toronto, Tampa Bay didn't do anything, and Baltimore lost some pieces. Yeah. So I think they're going to take a step back.
Absolutely.
It's going to be between New York and Boston again, which should be fun.
Yeah, I doubt it.
This could be a fun one.
I doubt it. It's going to be Yankees in a runaway.
Yeah, we'll see. All right, Ron, let's talk some NHL. And I know how excited you've been. The Four Nations tournament has begun.
Yeah, I watched the game last night.
Is this a positive thing for the NHL?
Well, it could have been. And I say it could have been.
Guys dropping already.
I say
Right?
it
Guys are
could have
getting hurt
been
already.
because Las Vegas just lost Shea Theodore to an injury.
That's what I'm saying. These guys are getting hurt on a meaningless tournament. First of all, who does a tournament with 4
Yeah, I
teams?
know.
Like, this is dumb.
And it's 2 weeks. Why is it 2 weeks?
I don't know.
Because
they're taking that sweet, because every team's
they've
got to play
already
each other
played
first.
one game. Saturday they play their second game, and then Monday they play their third game. And then it's only the championship after that, I believe. So what gives? Why are we doing 2 weeks for this? 2 weeks.
Gary Bettman is an idiot. No offense, but like, how do you shut your league down for 2 weeks for this crap?
Because he wanted to do it.
It's
Simple.
dumb. And then Russia, who has the 3rd most players in the NHL, doesn't have a team.
Yeah, because they didn't want them to be part of it.
Like, this is what I'm saying. So that, like, none of this makes
Because
sense.
they didn't want the United States to come in last. Although they played very well last night.
Yes, they did. And now Canada tomorrow. I mean,
Canada went
that's
to
the only 2
overtime.
games
So
anybody cares
right
about.
now, the USA is on the top.
Looking great. But I would say these are only 2 teams people care about. Anyway, out of the 4. Like, to me, you should have had like 8 teams and made it like, what are we doing?
I agree with you. And they also announced that they're going to be going to the Olympics in 2026.
Again.
So
Awesome.
next
There's
year,
another
we're going to
shutdown.
have 2 weeks off, probably more. And what that does is forces teams to play more games in the schedule and risk injury.
We need to call Gary Bettman, and he's ruining our prediction segments because we don't have games for the NHL for 2 weeks. That's what we need to do, Ron. It's affecting our show, too, this stupid 4 nations thing.
It is. It's affecting everybody. And now Las Vegas, I don't know how
And
long
then all
he's
these
gonna be out
trades.
for.
Right, but all these trades that would be rumored and everything that's happening.
Marchand got a goal.
I don't know.
And let me tell
He's
you,
gonna look good in
McAvoy
Colorado.
still coughing the puck up, by the way. Still coughing the puck up. Not liking it. Not liking it. I don't know. I mean, it's good hockey. It's good to see, but what is the cost, right? We're not going to know the cost until it's over. If anybody major gets hurt, then we're really going to see what happens, right? Suppose somebody like Sidney Crosby gets injured.
Mm-hmm.
So then now Pittsburgh can't trade him. Right?
Yeah. You're right.
I mean, it's a major effect. You know, you're risking your star players in non NHL games, and I kind of don't like it because basically we're seeing the same freaking game. We're seeing the same game.
Yeah, I think it's stupid. I think this was a dumb move.
Like, Olympics is different. Like, I get the Olympics, but I don't get this one that the NHL created.
So
this is an NHL creation.
Yeah, so they're not doing an all-star game. This is like the replacement.
This is their all-star. Yeah, this is it.
Like, this is what I'm saying. It makes no sense because they can't. The all-star games suck. So we'll do this stupid thing.
Yeah.
Like, stop. You know what I heard on the radio today? I thought this was a great idea. You might like this idea. This guy calls up the radio station and he said, I figured a way to fix the all-star games.
Don't have them.
He said, basically, why don't you do this? You have all the 4 major sports teams have a player represented. So then they'll do like random tournaments, like either a bowling tournament, volleyball tournament. So like you would have Boston would have like a Jason Tatum with a Rafael Devers and a Marchand or whoever, right? And those guys compete against. So you'd have all the sports cities competing
like play
against
pickle or something like
that.
that.
You know what I mean? Like pickleball or something, right? Like something completely different. But then now you're excited and you're trying to root for your city. And you don't have to watch these stupid Pro Bowl games that they don't even play football anymore. They play flag football.
That's what it's going to be soon.
Right? That hockey now we got 4 nations. The All-Star game, I don't even know the guys competing in the slam dunk contest because none of them even play in the NBA. They're all in the G League. Like, these things have turned into just a joke.
Oh, who's the player? McClung?
Yeah, he's going for a 3-peat, whatever they call him now.
I can't even imagine him ever winning a dunk contest.
And he's
if
going 3
everybody
straight.
was in it. Well, you know, this is LeBron's fault.
It is, because he refused to do it.
Yeah.
And now all these other guys don't want to do it.
Because he doesn't want to be exposed as a fraud. That's what it comes down to.
I would have had it. If he was smart, he would have done it now. Like at 40. Think about it at 40. He would have got some points just for that. Like, this is a 40-year-old doing it. Competing against these kids that are 20.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had a shot. He blew it.
He stinks.
That's your guy.
That's not my guy. I can't stand him.
You keep messing up these predictions. You're going to be wearing a LeBron hat or jersey. So be careful. All right, Ron. It is time for pick and roll.
Of that. That is kind of scary.
It's time for pick and roll.
Our pick and roll segment tonight. All these episode 7, by the way, so always have some kind of meaning to it. All these NFL players were drafted number 7 overall in their career. Wow. Josh Allen, Mike Williams, Mike Evans, Adrian Peterson, and Andre Carter. We're going to rank them from 5 to 1, Ron. You are first, so please, your pick and roll.
Yeah, this is a difficult one, except for this. Number 5, I have Mike Williams. Clearly not as good as the rest.
Agreed.
That's a bust.
I agree with that one.
330 receptions, 5,104 yards, 32 touchdowns. He'd be a good number 2, maybe.
Yeah, or a 3.
Or a 3. Most likely a 3.
Yeah. With those
on
numbers.
some teams, a 4.
He's another guy got hurt a lot.
Yeah.
Injured a lot.
Yeah. Number 4, I have defensive end Andre Carter. 18 forced fumbles, 4 fumble recoveries, 80.5 sacks, 388 solo tackles, 1 Pro Bowl. A pretty nice player. He's a very nice player.
80.5 sacks, not bad.
No, I'd love to have him on the team, but again, he'd be my 4th choice out of these guys.
Yep.
Number 3, who has really good numbers, and if it wasn't for a quarterback factor, I would probably have Adrian Peterson at number 2, but he is number 3, 3,230 rushing attempts, 14,918 yards, 4.6 per attempt, which is pretty damn good. Give it to him twice is getting you a first down.
Mm-hmm.
120 touchdowns, which is fantastic. 7 Pro Bowls, 1 MVP, 4 All-Pro, a Rookie of the Year, no Super Bowls. Look, great player. I really despise him as a human being, though.
Yeah, we're not,
and that hurts him in this category as well because
oh my goodness.
I wouldn't take him over Mike Evans, 836 receptions, 12,684 yards, 152, 15.2 yards per reception, and 105 touchdowns, 6 Pro Bowls, 1 Super Bowl championship. I would still take Mike Evans over him if I didn't factor in his creep of a personality. And the fact that, number 1, I have Josh Allen because he is a quarterback, and I'll take the quarterback over anybody, especially if he's that good. even though he hasn't won a Super Bowl. But in his short career so far, 3 Pro Bowls and 1 MVP now. Hopefully he can get that Super Bowl, unless Drake May decides to go win like 5 in a row.
Oh, Drake.
But Josh Allen, 76 wins, 34 losses, 63.3 pass percentage, 26,000 plus yards, 195 touchdowns, 84 interceptions. I'll take the quarterback over anybody when you're that good.
All right. I started a little different.
Yeah, I'm sure you did. You have Adrian Peterson probably number 1.
I have Mike Williams at 5. I agree with you. By far, not very good numbers. Andre Carter at 4. I like what you said, though. 80.5 sacks, right? Is still a very good career.
Yeah.
I had Josh Allen at 3, and I just don't think he's done enough yet for me to put him ahead of the other 2 guys.
Number 3.
He did win a most improved player as well, so let's not take that away from him, Ron. It got this MVP this year. But Mike Evans at 2 for me. I mean, 836 receptions.
I told you. I knew you were going to have it this way.
684 yards, 105 touchdowns in his career, 15.2 yards per reception, Ron. 6-time Pro Bowl, 1-time champion at 2 by Adrian Peterson. So decorated. Yes, he's a D-bag. I will give you that.
Yes. So you have a lot of dirtbags on your team, and I don't.
He'd still be on your team. You just put him a lot less. I mean, but it don't matter. The man rushed for almost 15,000 yards.
I know.
4.6, 3 times first down every time.
And every time he went to the sidelines, he would smack his kid.
120 touchdowns, 7 Pro Bowls.
Allegedly.
And unless I missed it, only guy to be an All-Pro, because even Josh Allen hasn't been an All-Pro, 4-time All-Pro.
Right.
So I have to go with Adrian Peterson.
I value the quarterback in this case. And so he was going to go to the top of the line. And I'd rather have Mike Evans over Adrian Peterson.
Okay. All right.
I mean, that's what it came down to.
Okay.
It wasn't a slight to Adrian Peterson, totally. But
you still had, we had 5, 4, and 2 the same. You just flip-flop Josh Allen's Adrian Peterson.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Ron.
And I knew you were going to have that. That's how I knew.
We're going to give people out there a chance right now. Make sure if you're on, we're going to go to our prediction segment shortly. But before we do that, Ron, let's bring up those Hall of Fame nominees. So, again, we just elected 2 more inductees into the Sports Unfolded Hall of Fame. Lindsey Vonn. And remind me who the second one was, because my brain is drawing a blank right now.
You don't remember who the guy is?
Oh, Phil Esposito.
Thank you.
Phil Esposito for the hockey and Lindsey Vonn for the Olympics. We do currently have our Sports Unfolded sports poll page open for our next nominees into the Sports Unfolded Hall of Fame. And those are for Major League Baseball, Gary Carter, Carlton Fisk, Tony Pena, Ted Simmons, and Lance Parrish, all great catches. I cannot
believe Gary Carter is beating out Carlton
Gary
Fisk.
Carter is currently in the lead. Again, if you think about all great catches from the 80s, so we try to stay within a decade. Again, all these guys, great players, but go cast your votes now.
Like that Barkley one, right? When Barkley beat out Kobe and Kobe didn't even get a vote?
Yeah, you remember that? But so let's get on that sports poll page on Facebook and cast your vote for the next inductee into the Sports Unfolded Hall of Fame. Not only Major League Baseball, but we have NFL as well. Jim Kelly, Dan Fouts, John Elway, Warren Moon, and Bernie Kosar. Right now, John Elway is running away with this thing. Jim Kelly, 4 straight Super Bowls, no love there. Bernie Kosar, Kosar has a vote.
And Jim Kelly doesn't?
Jim Kelly, I think, has 2.
Oh, what about Warren Moon? I hope he has one.
Warren Moon does not have one. Dan Fouts does not.
God, come on, people.
So get on this Facebook Sports Unfolded Sports Poll page. Cast your votes. Help us induct our next nominee into the Sports
get on
Unfolded
there,
Hall
Ricky.
of Fame. All right.
Sports Unfolded Sports Polls. on
All right,
Facebook.
on Facebook. All right, Ron. It is prediction time. Our predictions last week, we had a ton of participation. Hopefully, everybody's still on tonight. So last week, I won 6-2. You went 5-3. Danny 4-4. You go 4-4. Austin went 3-3, and Kyle with his one pick went 1-0. So if you are joining us live right now, so we know we have some people out there. Ricky, Danny, you're on. Hugo's on. Make sure you guys give us your picks so we can get your names on the chart or add to the chart. This is it's early. It's early in the season, but we already got a good amount of people filling out that chart. All right, Ron. So
Yeah, Ricky, get on this chart. Stay around, vote.
you are first,
And
Ron,
get
this
this.
week. So NBA with the delay with the All-Star game, first game back February 20th, Thursday. You got the Los Angeles Clippers at the Milwaukee Bucks. What do you
How
have?
many days off did they have?
They're gonna have like a week.
Like,
Last night was the last
remember,
games.
not so long ago, they would literally have 3 days off. The first day is travel day. The second day is the actual All-Star game. And then the travel day again. Like now, it's like they have a week off. And
Because
it's
they got
like
that
just
whole
a vacation
festivity thing. They
time.
got celebrity games, slam dunks,
Oh, it's
3
just
points.
ridiculous. Just
They
do
got
the
all that
All-Star
crap.
game, get it over with, and get back to it.
And now
It's
they got that
annoying.
tournament.
It's like that in every sport now.
Now they got that tournament too. Shaq's team, Barkley's team, Kenny's team, Candace
Which
Parker's
they have
team.
3 teams.
They have 4
How
teams.
is it going to work? One
right,
team gets an advantage, is how it
All right.
works.
Relax. Pick a
Frustrates
team.
me. It's frustrating.
Pick a-
Hate it.
Pick it. Clippers at Milwaukee Bucks this Thursday night.
I'm taking Milwaukee at home.
Milwaukee at home. I'm going Clippers here. They're playing much better basketball, and Giannis may still be out. I don't know. There's some
Wait, he's
injury.
out?
He's got an injury. They said he's out at least till the All-Star. After the All-Star break. I don't know if he's out for this game, but coming back off an injury. Let's see. Anybody else out there got to pick? Clippers at Milwaukee Bucks. Get your name on the chart or add to that chart.
Come on,
Danny,
Ricky. Let's go. Let's
Danny,
go.
Ricky, Hugo. Draft picks of what year, Eric? Wow, he's on a big delay.
Danny, keep up with us.
Wow.
Refresh, Danny.
If he's got
Refresh.
a delay, man, that's bad.
He's on YouTube, though. I don't know. Danny, refresh. Come on, buddy.
If he's still on the pick and roll, bro. All right. Second game that Thursday that we're picking is the Phoenix Suns at the San Antonio Spurs. Phoenix lost 3 straight. I don't know. Durant's going to get traded at some point. I don't know what, not going to get traded now, obviously, because of the deadline, but he's done. That team's a mess. So I went San Antonio here. Both these teams are in the 11-12 spot. So this is a big game for the Spurs. I would
go with San Antonio anyway. Even if Durant is back or whatever. I don't know. I don't know what to explain with them.
It's a back.
Phoenix just stinks.
They're a mess. They are a mess. Your question was not clear, Eric.
He's having a tough time. I'm thinking it's him.
Yeah, I think it is him. All right. Tomorrow, Ron, big matchup in the Four Nations tournament. Team USA versus Team Canada. Who do you have?
I think Canada has way more talent, but I think the physicality of the United States is going to get to them, and I'm going to take USA on this.
I went USA as well. Listen, they looked great in their first game. The Kachuk brothers, they are having some fun playing with each other, and not on Valentine's Day. But wow, today I don't know what's wrong with me. But I agree with you too. Canada, I think they're going to take it easy because some of these guys don't want to get hurt.
Well, they already went to overtime against Sweden, so they're already in a hole. They need to win this one. So, but I just think the physicality factor is going to be big.
Yeah. All right, Ron. It's back. NASCAR. Daytona 500 this Sunday. We got to pick a top 5 driver. We always do pretty well with these. I went with a guy who has had a ton of top 5 finishes, even though he hasn't won the race. Christopher Bell. So I'm going Christopher Bell, the top 5 in this year's Daytona 500.
I like the tone you're setting for this.
Nice and calm.
The tone. Bell tone.
No.
Yeah.
Not good.
Now you know how yours are today, right?
Oh, mine were better than that.
No, they weren't.
They were.
No, they weren't. I'm going Denny Hamlin. I think Denny Hamlin.
I could ring your bell.
Wow, he's still on pick and roll? There's no way he can still be on that. Like, it's been longer than what that segment was. Get up to date, Danny. Come on. Come on, buddy.
No, yeah.
Stop
We were just picking. It was just random number 7s. Danny Hamlin. All right.
Denny Hamlin, not Danny.
Denny. Sorry. I put Denny. All right. Ron, big matchup tomorrow. NCAA men's number 1 Auburn Tigers at number 2 Clemson.
Oh, I thought it was going to be Canada versus Iceland in the
I thought about that one.
The curling championship.
Can I ask you this though too? Did you even know these teams had like men's basketball? Like now they're number 1 and 2. Like these are football schools.
Auburn and Alabama? Of course I knew.
But these are football schools, Ron. If you're talking number 1 and number 2 overall, how many times have you said
Alabama's been up there?
The Auburn Tigers, number 1. Alabama, number 2 in the country. No. Go ahead. Who do you have?
I'm going to go with Alabama. Playing at home, a little bit of an advantage.
Both these teams, same record, like both good at home, both on the road. But I'm going sweet home Alabama. I like it. So, yes, the Crimson Tide, who were number 1. Oh, there's Danny Clippers.
There he is. He's finally made it to the prediction segment.
Holy. Oh, wow. We are. Yikes. All right, Danny. Thank you for your picks. All right. Also,
it is a delay, I guess.
Also, this Saturday, you got the number 6 Houston Cougars at number 12 Arizona Wildcats. I went Arizona here, only 1 loss at home. Even though Houston not bad, playing good basketball, but I think Arizona's at home.
Yeah, I went Arizona as well, Eric. I just trust Arizona more than I trust Houston because they had not been there, you know? And it could be time for their slide.
All right. And I guess Danny don't have any more picks. All right. Also, this Sunday, Ron, big matchup in NCAA women's basketball. Number 7 UConn Huskies at number 4 South Carolina Gamecocks. What do you have?
That's so tough. Because I don't like going against UConn. But I'm going to take South Carolina. Big win for them if they win this.
A lot of weird things. South Carolina had won 250 something games at home. Hadn't lost in the SEC or whatever they're forever.
What was the question?
I don't know what's going on. I don't even know what he's doing. I don't know what show he's watching, but he's watching something.
I don't know.
But yeah, so I think they kind of righted the ship here. And I went South Carolina as well. I listen, UConn's good, but they've lost good games. Danny went UConn.
Danny picks UConn.
How did he get to that? How did he jump?
I don't know how he jumped. I don't know what question he's referring to. I don't know what he's talking about.
I don't know.
Danny, the only thing I can say is after this ends, send Eric. Send Eric all of your picks.
You can send it to Ron.
Send Eric all of your picks.
He looks at it more than I do, Danny. So
because the only way you're going to win, Danny, is if you beat everybody on the picks.
And it's only me and Ron, so you got a good shot. You got a good shot this week. All right, Ron, before we get into our final thoughts, let's talk about how we could have someone become a sponsor of Sports Unfolded and get their name plastered all over our broadcast.
What can I put for graphics on this? Because I don't know if everybody's noticed, but I changed the graphics, but I still don't have like a couple of graphics done. So what are we doing? Final thoughts? And then that, right? I mean, then final thoughts, right? So we'll just put it on this one.
Okay.
So look, Eric, you can easily, find out about sponsoring just by going to this email right here, ribroadcasting.media@gmail.com. We can send you the media kit that'll tell you exactly how to do it. But let me tell you, the cost is like practically nothing. It is definitely worth your while, because it costs less than going to your local coffee shop and getting, your strawberry latte with a strawberry jelly donut with a little bit of strawberry frosting on it and decorated with a nice heart in the middle of that sucker.
Naira, thanks for joining.
And
we're doing pretty well today. Thank
costs
you.
less than that. So just get on that, and then you will reap the rewards, because not only do we have thousands of eyes on video here at Rhode Island Broadcasting and at Sports Unfolded, but we also have 13,000 listeners on the radio in Dallas, Georgia, which also goes into Atlanta. Metro Atlanta does have us on there. And it also has, viewers in Providence as well on Bob. And I didn't even talk about Bob today.
990 WBOB in Providence, Rhode Island as well. We are on there on Saturdays as well at 10 a.m. So you can listen to us there. We're on all audio platforms as well. So not only will your business be seen, it'll be heard.
Get on it and sponsor the show. So if you have a business, who wouldn't want to sponsor the best talk show in the world?
Best sports podcast on the planet, Sports Unfolded. I will say this too: like, share, and follow our show on all our social media platforms. Love to continue to get some support. So Naira, if you're on Facebook at Sports Unfolded, join us there and join our Sports Unfolded page. We are on all social media platforms: Twitter, YouTube, Twitch. We are on Facebook. We are on MeWe. So a lot of different platforms to follow us at. Danny, the second game was the Phoenix Suns at the San Antonio Spurs, if you want to give us a pick. You can also buy merchandise for Sports Unfolded on Patreon at RI Broadcasting. We got cups, we've got stickers, we've got pens, and so much more. If you'd be interested, check that out as well. Get yourself some Sports Unfolded merch. That is always something, and we'd love to see it. Send us pictures if you do buy some.
Eric, I was thinking of a big prize I could do is like a duffel bag or a backpack kind of thing with the water bottle, and just different stuff that you can use as that emergency bag kind of thing.
Yeah, I love it.
I think I might put one of those things together.
Danny went Spurs. Do you want to pick the Team USA versus Team Canada in the Four Nations tournament, Danny? Could do that one as well. All right, Ron. It is final thoughts time, and our final thoughts don't necessarily have to be about anything sports related. It could be about anything happening in the world today. Would you like me to create something cool for your channel? That means appreciate the support. We kind of do our own thing, though, Naira, but I appreciate you offering. Thank you so much. Ron, you are first this week, so your final thoughts.
Yeah, I want to touch base on this Four Nations thing. Um, it was almost like a second trade deadline, right? Well, or to be honest with you, the first trade deadline, because then they have like 3 weeks until the official deadline once they, come back and stuff. So, um, but it would be terrible if a team decides to trade somebody during this tournament, because now you're talking, when you come home, you're not coming home. You don't know where to go. So if one of these players gets traded, it would be a travesty, and it wouldn't be right if a team did that. So I don't like the thought of knowing that those players are that they're playing for our countries, even though they're still in the United States and Canada. I don't think it's right that if they get traded, they really are going to be in limbo for another week and a half, and I don't like that, and I hope that nobody gets traded that is playing. I mean, everybody else is fair game in my book, but I hope none of those players, I wouldn't want McDavid to get traded, to another team. Like, who would want that? I'm not saying he'd be one, but that's being nice.
They
I'm
should do
picking
the
him out.
trades in the Four Nations, like you trade them from like Canada to Finland or something.
So
No
Danny is
NHL
United
games.
States,
He got that
Canada,
one.
Finland, and Sweden. Those are the 4 teams. But the ones that we're talking about, I'm guessing for the predictions is
Yeah.
United States, Canada, which is tomorrow night.
Number 1 for men's basketball, Auburn at number 2, Alabama. If you want to pick that game, Danny, as well. All right, Ron.
Yeah. So that's the. I just don't want any of those
that
players
makes
to be
sense.
traded,
Makes sense.
because it's just not right. It's not right.
Definitely makes sense. Ron, I wanted to talk real quick about on my final thought. Kevin Durant just passed 30,000 points scored in the NBA, third fastest to ever do it. I listen. He's been an enigma in the NBA with some of the things and antics that he's done, but the man is a great scorer. We've got to witness some of the greatest scorers in our lifetime, and how the game has changed and what he was able to do as a 6'10" forward and shooting the lights out. Like back in our day in the 80s, these guys were, post up and just going to the basket. And he's changed that game and evolutionized the game in a way that has proven that these guys, like, look at Wemby now. He's a 3-point threat as a 7-foot plus center. So the game has changed a lot, right? But Kevin Durant, congratulations on that accomplishment. I thought that was, something when you start to look at the names.
It's tough to really put him, in a place of all the greats. It's really hard because you look at him and it's like he could have done so much more.
2 championships though with Golden State, so you give him
but they
that
would have won
too.
those anyway.
But so I mean, he's like 3 spots from Jordan, passing Jordan on this scoring. You know what I mean? Like
it's like I said, it's tough to put him somewhere in history because of
some of the other
he could have been so much better without like certain antics. And I don't think he's not. Look, I'm not saying that he's a negative player. I'm just saying that he could have done more with his career.
Agreed.
And I think he got so focused on trying to build a team.
Yeah, agreed. I agree with you there. Alabama versus Auburn, number 1 versus number 2, Danny. Alabama's at home. And I also wanted to say before we sign off, happy Valentine's Day to my wife. Thank you for 15 plus years of wonderful marriage.
Yeah, putting up with you for 15
That's
years?
what I'm saying. We've been doing.
I needed like a 25-year break.
Yeah, we're 5 years now. I can't stand you. Smelly Burner.
Smelly Burner.
At steamboo.com. Well then. All right.
Steamboo.
I don't think anybody wants to check that set out. I don't know. Don't sounds a little special. But wanted to thank her, tell her I love her very much. Thank you for the support.
What,
and
Steamboo?
No, them too. You may sign. Yeah, look for my videos. It's on there all over the place. But thank you to my wife for her support in all these wonderful years together. And I hope everybody out there has a great Valentine's Day with someone or by yourself. It's okay. Listen, have fun.
You know, I didn't get all the Valentine cards from the fans yet.
No, it's coming. It's in the mail. It's snail mail. It takes some time. Right? Takes some time. You know, it's like that the package I'm supposed to get. The package
I
I'm
forgot to
supposed to
keep
get.
track of that this year.
When's my package coming? By the way,
it's sitting right here. I haven't. It's sitting right there.
Oh, your Valentine's card. I had it right here. All right. Listen, I want to thank everybody that joined us live tonight. You guys have been amazing. Danny, Hugo, Ricky. You know, listen, if you are enjoying the show, Smelly Burner, Naira,
and Myra.
But take some time, like, share, follow our show. We are live every Friday night at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can join us and have a great time with us as well. Again, the best sports podcast on the planet, Sports Unfolded. Thank you so much for the support. And we will see you again next Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And all we ever ask for every single show is that we get peace on earth.
Have a great night, everybody. Happy Valentine's Day.